Hello, this is me and my phone Armor 3 WT, and I'm going to make a first review in my life, so I'm sorry for everything that goes wrong.
Completely unprofessional
Reviews! Now, I've noticed there's a problem with reviews on YouTube, smartphone reviews, because they are not reviews, they are commercials or unboxings. What the hell is unboxing? I mean, seriously, you're going to buy a phone for 5 years, you're gonna use the phone, and all you want to see is the box? Okay, so if you're so interested in a box, there's a box, there you go, that's it. And this is the phone, it's more important. So my problems with reviews is I want to know how this phone works in everyday life. I mean, if there are some annoying things about it, or I don't know, maybe the button doesn't work and the phone is so cool, everything is great about it, but you can't use it because it has a button in a totally wrong place. So I want to know things like that. And to know things like that, somebody has to make a review and test the phone for about 2 months of everyday life and then tell me if it's worth to buy this phone. So I did it with this phone. Now this is Armor 3 WT. This phone works for a week without charging now. And here's settings. I've been charging it every now and then, this phone, because it has a huge battery and it really is huge. And as you can see, it probably somewhere here in the battery section, it has 22% now, and it tells me it's good for about a day and 14 hours. And this is not joke, it really is. Look at this, last full charge 5 days ago, and screen usage is what, 13 hours and 27 minutes right now. So this is better than good. This is beyond my dreams. The problems with modern smartphones, the most problematic thing about them is that stupid short battery life. It's crazy. I mean, the last phone I had was Galaxy Note 4, I think, yeah, it was it. And it was great. This is a perfect phone. Only one thing is bad, the stupid battery. It can't live 1 day even when I use it. So I have to keep it attached to a charger all day long, which doesn't make any sense because this is not a mobile device. This is a device that's attached to that cable for an entire day. Or you need to carry a power bank with you, which is what I did. But the smartphone with the power bank makes the whole set really heavy and not very comfortable, and you know, it's really not fun to have to think about battery all day long. You know, do I have battery? I don't have battery. Okay, let's go and charge it. So this is the phone. I wanted to buy something that I can use and not think about battery all the time. Now this is better than good. If I could use a phone for 2 days without charging, I would be happy. If I could use it for 3 days without charging, I would be ecstatic. I can use it a week without charging. This is crazy. This phone is crazy. You're a crazy phone. Now, the bad thing about this phone is that it has a stupid name, and that's it matters to me because I'm weird that way. What the hell is Ulefone? How do you pronounce that thing? When I was going to buy a new phone, I had 2 conditions. It has to be rugged, means it has to be, you know, a heavy-duty phone that you can kill away with it, and it has to have a decent battery. Everything else is a bonus. So, for example, this thing, when I discovered there are smartphones with transceivers, with radio, with walkie-talkie things, I was happy. So I wanted something with this antennas. I can use it as a walkie-talkie, you know, talking for free with 10 people at the same time, stuff like that. Cool. So I found out there are only 2 choices basically. One is Blackview BV9500, something like that, and this thing, Armor 3 WT. And Blackview had an advantage of having a cool name. You know, it's a Blackview. Blackview, how cool is that? It's Blackview. Now this is what? Ulefone? Who knows? Now, is it annoying? I don't know. Is it a reason not to buy this phone? Probably not, because you don't have to say that you have a Ulefone. You just say you have an Armor. You have an Armor 3. You know, not only Armor, but Armor 3. and Armor 3W and Armor 3WT, which is for this thing, which you can, by the way, unscrew if you don't need it and throw away, and lock this thing with a little screw, and makes it waterproof, water resistant. When you have it in your hand, by the way, people say it feels heavy and it feels too heavy. I agree, it feels heavy, it feels solid, but it doesn't feel too heavy. It fits to your pocket, which is a good thing, which is a great thing, because there's a problem how to carry monstrous thing like that. You carry in your pocket, but you can really feel it in your pocket, so you need a strong pocket. Everything about this phone is kind of solid and rugged. It feels massive, it's heavy, it's metal, it's a tool. It feels like a tool, like a screwdriver or a hammer or something like that. This is another of your tools. Now, to compare it with this, I've been using it for 2 months now, this Armor 3 of mine. This is one of my previous phones, actually my wife's now, Sony Xperia. It's pretty old, but now when I have it in my hand, it feels like a feather. It's like a toy. It's not a phone, it's something for playing. You have to be really careful about it. I mean, look at this, the screen has some scratches, and you have to be careful not to put it close to the water, and to be careful not to drop it. You have to be careful with everything. I mean, and with this stuff, I can throw it around. Oh, actually, I did throw this right now. Oh my goodness, now I'm scared it's gonna break it. But this is, you're not gonna break it. You can do whatever you want. You don't need to think about it. It's your tool. Another good thing is the battery. The battery is absolutely fantastic. Now the charging is not very fast. It is a fast charging, but actually in my Galaxy Samsung, the charger was faster than this. So it takes, in fact, I don't know how much it takes, because I just charge it when I need to, and I forget about it. So I don't know, takes hours, takes a long time, because the battery here is huge. This battery has 10,000 milliamp hours, and this is about 3 times as much as in Galaxy Note 4. And not only the battery is huge, also the chips on the board of this device are energy efficient, and you can tell, as you saw, that it's been 5 days since last charge right now, and I've been playing chess a lot recently. 13 hours screen on, yeah, it's probably right, more or less. So I use it every day. I use it for at least an hour a day, 5 days and 13 hours. So yeah, you can tell. And it still has 22% of battery life. Haven't been charging it since last charging. Now, this is great thing. You don't know how great this thing is. I'm going to tell you why this is so great. First, this is really comfortable. Your mobile device is really mobile, but also the battery is going to last you for about, I expect, at least 10 years. 10, maybe 20 years. How did I calculate this? Well, it's just my guess based on what I know about batteries, but most of batteries are expected to live for about 1,000 charges, from empty battery to full battery, about 1,000, and then the battery still works, but it's too weak to use it, so you need to replace it. And so when with a regular phone, you need to recharge it every day, basically. So 1,000 recharges gives you more or less 3 years of life, and then you have to replace it. Yeah, does it make sense? I guess you have some sort of smartphone, so yeah, 2 years, and the battery is getting weak, and you can tell. With this phone, remember, you don't have to charge every day. You charge about, I don't know, every 5 days, every week, every 3 days if you use it all the time, I don't know. But it takes, it means that in order to have 1,000 charges, you need to spend 10 years, not 3, but 10 years or maybe 15 years. And that's why I expect the battery here to live much, much longer than in a regular toyish smartphone. And also, you probably know, if you don't know, you're gonna know now, if you don't charge your battery, your smartphone to 100%, but to about 80-90%, and if you never let it drop below 20%, your battery should live about twice longer. Now the problem with the system is that the batteries in regular smartphones are so small in the first place that when you use only 60% of the capacity, because you need to charge it to 80% and then let it discharge to 20%, so you have only this little space in between, and that means you need to charge it twice a day. Probably, or maybe 3 times a day, and it's really not comparable. So it's really not many people do it. Okay, and it makes sense, I can understand. So they just charge it until it's full and they let it go down to 0 basically until they charge it again. So that is heavy on battery. Now with this phone, I rarely charge it to 100% because I don't have to. And I don't let it drop below 20%, so I'm going to charge it because it's 21% now. It's ready to be recharged to about 80%. And it can still go for 3 days. It's not uncomfortable at all, and my battery is going to live long life, really long. Okay, now the bad things. What are the bad things? Bad things are this when you buy it and you unbox it, you've got this stock Android, which is okay, but there's one annoying thing. You're stuck with this Google search on your main screen and you cannot get rid of it. You just can't. It's there. I tried all the tricks I could find, all the knowledge I have. It's impossible. It's just built in or something. And nothing works. So how did I get rid of it? Because I don't have it, as you can probably see it. I installed something that's called Poco Launcher, and it replaces the stock Android launcher with another launcher, and you can do anything you want with that launcher, and it's much better than the stock one, and it's very simple. Also, there are different launchers, so the first thing you do, you just install Poco Launcher or something else, and it's gonna get rid of this annoying stuff that is stuck on your main screen at Google. I don't want to be reminded every day about Google. I want to forget about Google. I don't like Google. I don't love it anymore. No. Now another bad thing. Actually, this is a good thing. One of the interesting things is they placed your fingerprint reader right here in the right side, right edge of the phone. I had a fingerprint reader in my Samsung Note 4. It was crap. It's not that it didn't work. It did work, but you had to do this, every time you took the phone into your hand, you just grabbed it, and you had to use your finger from, you're holding with your right hand, and you have to do with your left thumb, something like this, every time. This is not really fun. I mean, it's fun for the first 10 times. But you can show off, hey, look, my phone knows my finger. Look at this. I don't need to press a button. It just knows me. Now you do it. Oh, it doesn't work, see? Because my finger is different than yours. Okay, that's fun, but then it stops being fun. Now this really is fun when you have the fingerprint reader right here. Because when I take the phone, it's off now, I just take it into my hand naturally like this, and I automatically place my thumb on the print reader, and it just goes on. This is great. Now this is cool. This is unbelievable. How could a company with a stupid name do something that good, and Samsung company couldn't figure it out how to do it properly? So it goes off, it goes on, and it's perfectly secure, and it's very comfortable actually. Because you don't have to type your PIN number or do those little things with dots and lines. You just do it, and it's secure. It really is. So this is great. But okay, what is bad? What is bad? Bad things. Bad things about the phone. Well, there's one bad thing really is the screen brightness. It's not bad. It's not so bad that you can't use it. Now, when we are here in the room with light like this, it's more than enough. It's as bright. It's actually fully bright right now. Now, when you go outside, when you're in the shadow, it's okay, you can still read. It's not very bright and you wish it was a bit brighter, but when you're in the sun outside, you have problems with seeing things on your screen. Well, that's a bad thing. It should be brighter, definitely it should, and this is definitely the most annoying thing about this phone. Should you not buy it because of that? I don't think so. I think you should still buy it. Just be aware that when you're in the full sun, you will have problems with seeing everything on your screen unless it's really, you know, bright contrasts and stuff. This is not as bright as my last Samsung Galaxy Note 4. However, also I'm right now in the south of Spain and there's a really bright sun here. It might not be such a problem, but this is the most annoying thing, which is still okay. I can live with that, but I just wish the company thought about it. It could be a perfect phone. It nearly is. This phone is, as it comes to smartphones, for certain kind of people, this is a perfect phone, really, except for the screen thing. It's very solid, it's rugged, really. It's like a tank. Also, it has absolutely spectacular battery life, which is great if you go outside, if you use it for example, I use my phones for biking around, or I used it with my motorbike. Now, there was a problem with Galaxy Note because it had battery inside that was kind of loose, and when I rode for some time it could go off. You know, go off? Is it English? Proper English? I don't know. It turned off. Go off? I don't think so. It just turned off and it was really annoying, really bad. Now this has no chance of doing it. You can just shake it around, you can move it around, you can throw water on it and no problem. And also, you know, there's problem. You ride your bike and there's a rain and you need your GPS, but you can't stick your phone out for the raindrops to kill it. Now raindrops, this phone laughs at the raindrops. You can just, you know, throw it into an ocean and there is a chance you can get it back and it just say, I don't care. Drop me in an ocean any day, I don't mind. That's great for doing things outside. With this radio thing, by the way, I'm not so sure how well it works because I have no chance to test it because I left my other Baofeng transceiver in my other country. So now I don't know how to test it, but I can test it really quick. I have this, there's this PTT button right here for just talking like this. Hello, calling some people outside. Whatever. What else? Nothing else. This phone is great. Why didn't I choose Black View? And why should you not choose Black View if you're looking for something like that? For a tool, for a change, not a toy phone. You should not choose Black View because it has problems with this little thing. Now, I learned from a very helpful guy who bought it and made a review like mine and told you if this is a phone worth buying. And he said this Black View was great, just like this one, but it had really a problem. It had a really bad design problem with the camera. It had the Black View, not this one. This one is great. The Black View had some bad glass on the camera. Not only that, but when you place it on a table, you could scratch it because it was not level with the phone, you know, it was sticking out. Now this phone has no problems. When you place it on something flat like this, the camera you don't scratch the camera, it's all fine. Also, look at the way it is designed. This is really well designed phone. There's no way to harm it if you drop it on a flat surface because, you know, the hit goes, the energy of the hit is taken by all those things around the phone. I don't know how to explain it, but just trust me, it's when you have it in your hand, you know why. I mean, you can feel confident. You know it's gonna work. When we can drop it, it's going to work fine. That's the way it was designed. The pictures, the camera is fine. It's not perfect, but it's not bad. It's just regular, normal smartphone camera. It has the same problem as every smartphone with this small cameras right here. It needs light. Photos taken in a full light, they are great. They're good, they're just good enough. When there is not enough light, the quality rapidly falls. It's true about most of the smartphones, or maybe all of them even. It's just a too small camera, it needs lots of light. So that's that. And the sound, I didn't tell you about the sound. Now the sound might be a good thing or a bad thing. This phone doesn't produce sound, it screams at you. The sound is so loud that, you know, I keep it at the lowest level possible. So now it's off, now it's on. And this is too loud to me. Now when you put it all the way up, okay, a little sound test. So now my phone is roughly the same distance from the microphone as my mouth, more or less, a little bit more. And I'm going to play something, and you can hear how loud this monster is. This is the most silent sound you can get from this phone. Now I'm going to raise up the volume, and well, now I can barely hear myself, and it's half away. So let's try. Louder. Oh crap. Now I can't hear anything. I seriously cannot hear my own voice. This is so loud. All right, okay, thank you very much. So I'm telling you, this is really, really loud. So expect that, don't be surprised. And there was another thing I wanted to tell you. Oh yeah, you know, there's a sensor of brightness right here. It doesn't work. I thought it was there was something wrong with my phone, but I read comments somewhere, people say that this sensor doesn't work, this brightness sensor. There's definitely something wrong with it. I don't know if it even exists. But in reality, it really doesn't matter. Somehow the phone knows when I'm calling, you know, the screen goes off, so somehow it works. It just doesn't work the way it should be. I tried to calibrate the sensor in an application in Android, and it just didn't work. The calibration didn't work. So I don't know. Maybe it's broken, or maybe it's off. Maybe they use some different technique. I don't know. Also, there's auto brightness here. I have it on. But I recommend to turn it off. Just set the brightness of a screen manually. Why? Because it doesn't work well. It just works weird. I still have hope that it will learn eventually what brightness I need, but it just doesn't. So just forget about it. This is a minor annoyance, but it's fine. It's really not worth mentioning. So if you want to buy it, you're doing right. If you're someone who, you know, lives and works with your phone, if you travel a lot or a little bit, if you need something to put on your bike or your motorbike and show you the map, this is the perfect choice by far. If you also occasionally use the antenna and the radio, you're gonna be really happy with it, because you need one device and instead of two. The battery is so big, actually you can use this stuff as a power bank for your toy smartphone. Now, when you've had a device like this long enough, you're going to consider this type of phone, this particular Armor 3 WT model, as a real phone, real device and tool smartphone. Everything else really is a toy, and you know why once you've used Armor 3 WT. So would I recommend it? Yeah, it should be the most popular thing, I think. It should be a smartphone for men, for people who work, for everyone who doesn't treat their smartphone as a toy, but as a tool. This is a tool. And the minor annoyances, well, they are minor. You can live with them. So thank you for watching. This is all I have to say about it. I can answer your questions and comments if you need me. That's it. See you. Bye.